Good morning, beautiful world. Amazon. Flash briefing.
Jamie, getting your flash briefing. In NPR News.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. The death toll from last week's earthquakes in Turkey and Syria is well over 39,000 people. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg is in Turkey's capital, Ankara. He says NATO is offering help to earthquake survivors.
The focus going forward will be on reconstruction and supporting the displaced. That is why NATO is now setting up temporary housing for thousands of displaced people. In addition, NATO will also use our strategic airlift capabilities to transport tens of thousands of tents to Turkey in the coming days and weeks.
It appears relief aid is still only trickling into northern Syria. The area is held by rebels, and the Syrian government approved only a handful of border crossings to open to allow aid to get through. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will visit Turkey this weekend for a briefing on U.S. quake relief efforts. Today, he's going to Germany. Both he and Vice President Harris will attend the Munich Security Summit. They're expected to discuss Russia's invasion of Ukraine with European leaders. A former Mexican cabinet minister on trial in the U.S. for drug corruption is now awaiting a jury's decision in New York. NPR's Quill Lawrence reports the case has international repercussions.
Genaro Garcia Luna led Mexico's fight against narco-trafficking, but for years it was rumored that he favored the Sinaloa drug cartel. Now, at a federal district court in Brooklyn, prosecutors have finished laying out their case that Mexico's former top cop took millions in bribes from powerful drug lords and even let Sinaloa cartel hitmen wear government uniforms as they raided rival cartels. Garcia Luna's defense attorneys say his significant wealth is from legitimate business and pointed out that the prosecution's entire case consists of convicted narco-traffickers testifying in exchange for reduced jail time. If convicted, Garcia Luna faces a minimum sentence of 20 years to life in prison. Quill Lawrence, NPR News, New York.
Stocks opened lower this morning amid fresh signs of strength in the U.S. job market. NPR's Scott Horsley reports the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell about 400 points in early trading.
New claims for unemployment benefits dipped again last week, a sign that layoffs remain rare in a tight job market. New applications for jobs have numbered under 200,000 for 5 weeks in a row. Congressional forecasters say the deadline for lawmakers to raise the debt ceiling likely won't come before July, although that could change if April tax receipts come in lower than expected. If Congress fails to raise the debt limit, the government won't be able to borrow the money it needs to pay all of its bills, setting the stage for a potentially disastrous default. World Bank President David Malpass plans to step down by June, 10 months ahead of schedule. The Trump appointee's been under pressure to direct more lending to the fight against climate change. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
On Wall Street, the Dow is now down 398 points. You're listening to NPR. Indian tax inspectors remain at the offices of the BBC in Delhi and Mumbai for a third day. These raids come weeks after the British broadcaster aired a documentary critical of India's Prime Minister. NPR's Lauren Freyer reports from Mumbai.
Around 10 BBC employees have been sleeping in their office since Tuesday. Some of the tax agents stayed overnight, too. They searched the laptops and phones of some journalists as well as administrative staff. Indian officials call this a tax survey, but press freedom advocates say it may have more to do with a recent BBC documentary about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's role in anti-Muslim riots. His government banned it from being screened or shared online in India. While rights groups have criticized these raids, the governments of the US, France, and the UK have not. They've been celebrating a big deal Modi presided over, in which Air India is buying airplanes made by U.S., French, and British companies. Lauren Freyer, NPR News.
A group of employees at electric car maker Tesla say they've been fired 2 days after they announced they were working to form a union. The employees are in Buffalo, New York. They've complained to the National Labor Relations Board. A California farm worker will appear in court today in Northern California. Chun-Li Zhao is accused of shooting 7 people to death and wounding another person at 2 farms. He may enter a plea today. The shootings in Half Moon Bay occurred days after another man opened fire in a Los Angeles area ballroom and killed 11 people. I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News in Washington.
On the Code Switch podcast, conversations about race don't start and stop with the news cycle.
Amazon. Skip.
In weather. Currently, in Seattle it's 36 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. You can expect more of the same today, with a high of 48 degrees and a low of 40 degrees. That's all for your flash briefing.
No NASA today. Amazon. What's new with NASA?
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. The death toll from last week's
Amazon.
earthquakes in Turkey.
What's new with NASA?
Up next,
Okay.
a news
Let
update
me
from
dumb
your
it down
local
for you.
NPR station.
Amazon. Off. Amazon. What's new with the NASA Space Agency?
Up next, a news update from your local NPR station.
Amazon.
The-
Off. Amazon. Tell us about NASA Space Agency.
The National Aeronautics and Space Administration is an independent agency of the U.S. federal government responsible for the civil space program, aeronautics research, and space research. NASA was established in 1958, succeeding the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, to give the U.S. space development effort a distinctly civilian orientation, emphasizing peaceful applications in space science.
Oh, so you do know what NASA is. You just don't want to tell us about it today. Okay, whatever. Amazon, tell us a joke.
What do you call a dirty PowerPoint presentation? Mudslides.
Okay, let's try this one more time. Amazon, NASA news.
There's a bill in the Texas State Senate that would
Yeah,
ban the
that's
sale
not
of
NASA.
real estate to Chinese,
Nope.
Iranian, North
Definitely
Korean,
not.
and Russian
Amazon.
citizens.
Off. Okay, have a great day. I'm done.